Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's Monday night, round here, in this Lensco quality streaming product, trademark. Monday night means, at least has for the last couple of months, one thing. Marvel Midtown. Madness. Because it's showtime. Hey there, Lone Star Wolf. Good evening. So, first I will start off by collecting some goodies in Midtown at Cosmic Difficulty, which requires a character who has completed successfully the Cosmic Trial. I have 4 of them, but I'll be using Deadpool. All right, we got him. Rhino. Whoop, get out of the way. When Rhino does that, his little running thing, he one-shots anything unwise enough to get in his way. While everyone else is getting him started, I'll be picking up my loot so far. This is the Cosmic Difficulty, which is the highest, as I mentioned, and that means he has an enormous metric shit ton of life. Which means I'm in no hurry to start attacking him. And we can do so now. For whatever reason, he ended up outside when the other bosses were in this little room. He's doing his run again. And again. The voice work by Nolan North, who also does the human male voice, player character voice in Guild Wars 2. His voice work as Rhino is, as Deadpool is fucking impeccable. It's just brilliant. I can't peck a thing about it. That's how good it is. Rhino, you can slow down a bit on your constant charging. That would be cool. Whoop! There. Somebody managed to interrupt him. We should finish him off. We failed. We needed like another 2 seconds, and we failed. Not me. I did a whole lot. Disappointing. They were slow. Clearly, I was not. I was a little late, but that's, I place the blame on that to the internet. So, I'll do one more wave. Hopefully it's not the freaking Sentinels wave, because that's realistically the worst wave. One boss that gives you 2 bosses worth of loot. Every other thing has at least 3 bosses. 2 energy, that's a non-starter or keeper. Ooh, we did get 3 cards. Very nice. We'll be opening those up, but not just yet. Insignia of Wonder Man. Those numbers are not especially impressive. So we'll do one more boss, and then I will spin up a new character. Last night, I spun one up about 8 p.m. after I finished streaming. And by, I think, 10:15, he was fully kitted out and at the level cap. I'm leaning towards Colossus, but I'm open to be convinced otherwise. The ones I have not yet, well, it's easier to look at it this way. The ones I have not yet taken to the level cap are Angela, Ant-Man, Beast, Black Bolt, Black Cat, Captain Marvel, Colossus, who right now is the most likely, Cyclops, Gambit, Hulk, Scroll. Nick Fury, Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Vision, Wolverine, and X-23. I really have not done many of the X-Men. And most of my heroes were randomly chosen. I opened opened random hero boxes to get them. So for whatever reason, I did not get many of the X-Men. Who have quite a large proportion of the options, which is not surprising. The MCU had not yet attained quite the scale when this game was in its prime. So Thanos isn't in it, for instance, other than he appears in a couple of the cinematics, I think. And that's it.
It's so smarmy. He shoved the puke right up into my mouth.
And they were going to be bringing in the hammerless Thor as a new character, the first character repeat, so to speak, where the character would play very differently, but at least nominally be the same hero. From Thor Ragnarok. That was what was coming up with the next release when Disney pulled the license. Wow, that's kind of not a healthy approach. I love to see you bleed. Boy. All right. They decide me. I will use my ultimate ability. Breaking the fourth wall, I have no idea. Is that like using it some number of times? I will find out shortly. It's doing enormous amounts of damage to all of them. And it's about to run out, at which point I will vacate. Wow. Oh, whoop, whoop. Okay. Yeah, I got downed. Fortunately, I have a down prevention thing, which basically knocks you out for like 10 seconds or something where you can take no damage. And then it's on a cooldown for 9+ minutes. It was 10 minutes. I think I do now understand why, however, the previous players did not finish off the boss in time. It's because despite requiring you to be have completed the cosmic trial, this is one of the lower damaging groups in a cosmic that I've ever been in. Also, you'll note lots of light beams. All of those light beams are noteworthy loot boxes, where a loot box is the generic term meaning a box with loot. Not like a loot box, like a cash loot box, or you have to buy a key loot box. And we're probably going to end up with more stuff than we've got space for. So we'll dump a bunch of it onto our companion. And then we'll create the new character. Well, not create. We will unlock the new character. We'll level him up by doing the green difficulty of this same area until we get to level, I don't know, 32, 36, somewhere around there. And then we'll run him back out here in red tier, but we will also have a bunch of boxes to open on him, so we may not even have to run him out in red tier to gear up after we do the storyline stuff. I have to say, this is amongst... I've done a lot of cosmic difficulty gameplay since I started getting my characters through the cosmic trial, and I don't know, maybe they're just built very, very defensively. Lots and lots of boxes. If one were to make an argument that this is more boxes than strictly we need, I would have to agree. Especially given that most of them don't stack. There are things that stack, but identical flavored loot boxes don't. And we are definitely going into the storage for the team up. That was also probably one of the biggest piles of loot I've ever seen in the game. We had at least one additional boss sort of get pulled in from the side. So now, I'm going to go back over here. I'll tidy up our inventory a little bit, and then we will unlock the new hero and be right back in there at green difficulty. Yeah. In short, yeah, we almost. Uh-huh. I'll go ahead and put those away. Come back over here. We've got an Infinity Orb. Horizon Labs Web Shooter, a unique for Spider-Man. You'll note I am on Deadpool, who is not, generally speaking, Spider-Man. Well, we're going to move these over and deal with the individually, pardon me, as Lens, the anal retentive, moves things around so that it doesn't upset his delicate sensibilities. The lad's a wee bit mental. Let's just leave it at that. It is unlikely that any of these will be an improvement, but I will check. Nope. No. More of Chuck's Uzis. The guns with no name. No. Okay, so we're just going to sell these to get them out of the inventory. Under other circumstances, we would sacrifice those to a pet on a new character, but this pet is already awesome in the sacrifice categories. So, we will now go back upstairs. We'll move some of the in-game currency around.
That's Black Widow over there. No relation.
Get it? No. Because we're both Spider.
Yeah, that sounds funny.
We will add 400 across into 900 Gs. We will go to the heroes. Oh, we don't need to do it there. We can do it here. We will unlock Colossus. He is big and strong. And he's now unlocked. And now I will swap to him. Okay. First thing we have to do is his synergies. What are synergies, you may well ask? Go ahead, ask. They are buffs you get from choosing some of the other heroes you have reached the cap with. Blade, Cable, Elektra, and Emma. Blade, Cable, Elektra, and Emma. That's 4 out of the 10. Loki, Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl. Loki, Moon Knight, and Squirrel Girl. Whoop. Leaving us with 3. Normally, I give everyone Dr. Doom, as that's a 10% buff to the signature powers, which are some of your heaviest hitters. Carnage gives health on hit. And let's see, somebody else has a health on hit with like a fighty. Health on hit and attack speed for Blade. Oh, we already got Blade. Deadpool. No. Pardon me as I slurp. Juggernaut. Movement power damage. No. Oh. Defense rating and physical damage. Sure, that seems it. All right. But now we've got something. Hey, Fat Body. Now we have another thing to look at. That's the Infinity System. These are your end game advancement. And we have 469 points. So, what we want to do is we want to check here, and this is probably, yeah, durability and strength are his two primary stats. Strength, we want to go to 6 as 150 points. And these cost 25 each. Adds 1 to all of your stats, so that's just a buff to everything. That's strength. That's durability. Same deal. And each of these points is also adding 4% multiplicatively to our damage. And we want to go to time for attack speed. 38 gets us to 150 points spent. We've got a few left over we can put into something else later. We are now ready to go, comrades. We will go to Midtown Patrol green level for leveling purposes. Let's see, I have Punch. Punch works, it's good. And we have Stomp. Technically, Demolition Stomp. God damn it. Hit the right button, Lens, you dumbass.
I have learned much today.
There's 10 Eternity Splinters. That is 1/40th of the amount I just spent to buy him. Well, I'm walking. I am mighty indeed. I also like the Stomp. As it is spammable. Oh, 3 bosses are up. Where are they? They're over there. I do not have the movement power yet. So I have to use the old-fashioned method of Colossus footsicles. Class is in session. I press F to doubt. I am hitting things with my fists of steel. He's the living laser, blah, blah, blah. I will fight on! Indeed, I have learned much today. It is good, this learning thing. 8 out of 10 would recommend. Level 6.
This will need a cost. Silo, you are not the person I met so long ago. But then, who is?
Wow. Pretty deep for a Steel Russian? Now, you want to go to, close that. You want to go to the shield training room because opening boxes up gives you 240% more XP. Got some Silver Queen corn from a buddy's parents. Is it delicious? Yeah, never had it. Been a long time since I've had the proverbial good old corn on the cob.
I will fight on. I have learned much today.
I have learned much today.
I will fight on.
And I have learned much.
Mighty.
I am level 15 already. And that is a relic of Asgard. We've got a couple things to put away. Put that away. 10 relics. Very nice. Very nice. Those, and we'll sell the other things. Devil Suit is great when it's picked at the right time. Yeah, I would assume. If it's something out in your neck of the woods that's fresh off of the proverbial field, then yeah. This does not... I am not surprised by this, my friend. Let us see. We have 3 summoning powers so far. Let us see. Like that? No, like that. We can summon Kurt for his quality bamfing. We can summon Wolverine. And we can summon Kitty. Which does not sound especially imposing, you know? For the record, I will probably be continuing to speak in stupid Russian accent, bad Russian accent, for foreseeable future. Well, we will pick up Ring. Is Ring any good for us? No. It is level 59. We cannot use. If we wanted things we cannot use, we would open all of these on other character. But now we can run. I would say run like wind, but I am made of steel. Run like steel wind? Is that thing? I don't know. Let us summon up our friends. We have friends. They are X-Men too. Which does not mean they used to be men and are no longer men. I need to be clear. They are still men. Except Kitty. Kitty is not man. Others, man. Whoops. Must get out of way. Juggernaut hurt even man made of actual steel. It's true, I am no match for a living laser. Fortunately, I am made of steel and can hit things. Oops, he is doing it again. He's not sporting. That is all I am saying. Running at people very fast when you are Juggernaut. Not fair. Kind of inherently unfair, I would say. Oops, he is doing again. Juggernaut, why are you the way that you are? Ah, he thinks he is unstoppable, and yet he is stopped. Irony is complete, do you not think? I will pick that up. Could be Lenore's level. Steal the day. I see what you did. Is good joke. Yellow corn and soybeans surround us from spring until fall. Yeah, well, that's certainly an advantage. The ability to get, real, fresh, delicious corn. That's a plus. I assume these soybeans have to be in some way processed. But I don't know enough about that to say that for sure. We must go back downstairs to Cosmic Difficulty Shield Training Room for maximum experience points. That is level 20. I'll be able to use in mere minutes. 17. 19, I am mighty. As you can clearly hear me proclaim, I am now 20. I can use super soldier serum. Plus, we have our first unique. It is a Colossus unique. Lucky me.
I am mighty!
I am mighty, indeed. How long can he keep up bad Russian accent? Oh, I think all night. What else did we get in the way of powers that we've recently unlocked? All right, we got Kurt, Kitty, Fastball Special, and we now can call Ilyana. Better known as Magic. Well, okay, known as Magic. Different from Steel Punch is Colossal Punch. That gives us health. Does additional damage per 1,000 max health. That probably gets swapped in eventually. I will be playing this as the Summoner build version of Colossus. I don't know how many other summons he has. He has no other summons, so I believe all 4 of those skills end up staying on the bars. Even though that only leaves us with room for, well, okay, 4 other skills, a movement skill, so basically 3 other skills and a movement skill. 6 bosses, or possibly boxes. I don't know. Oh, death has come for me, and yet I am unafraid. Perhaps death is not as scary as he thinks.
I can't do that. No.
I will jump and land and hit very heavily indeed. I am man made of steel, you know. Superman claims, but he's not actually made of steel. I'm made of steel. One might say he is stronger than steel. I would not say that. You can push on him and his skin goes pushed in. He's not steel. Perhaps he feels no pain. Maybe he says he feels no pain. Do you really believe alien who's telling you nothing hurts? I'm not. Although technically I too am alien. I am from Russia. Right now, all of these people are reconsidering their follows. And Fat Body is desperately trying to reverse the charges on his generous donations around here.
I will fight on! I have learned much today. This will aid our cause. I am mighty!
Oi am mighty. Sounds a little bit Borat-esque. It'll be in rubles next. Excellent. But at which exchange rate? Because right now, the Russian ruble's not looking so good.
I have learned much today.
Perhaps I should say Bitcoin? So we are at 28. This next batch will probably get us to 31, I'm going to say. Which will get us our the last of our skill unlocks, which is, or next to the last, which is the signature skill. At level 60, when you hit the cap, you get the ultimate skill. So we'll probably do this wave of mobs and then one more, and that will get us probably to 33, 34, 35, and then we will hit the storyline to get to 60. When we're at 60, we will open up all of these boxes, which will almost certainly give us the level 60 uniques to finish out the first cut of the build. And hopefully also a nice genetic mutation. A team insignia would be nice. Some additional cool artifacts, always. Always a delight. That was a Spider-Man character, I believe, in the black symbiote costume. 3-boss wave. Ugh. I don't know. Is the rhino anything special? Okay, sadly, 2 of the bosses in this wave can one-shot you. Rhino can one-shot you for the same reason that Juggernaut can. As can Bullseye, but he's already been removed. We stopped him in mid Here I Come. Now keep in mind we are at the green level, which is the easiest level. And even though the mobs scale to each person, each character, so in essence, I hit a mob for 100, and maybe one of the level 60 characters in here is hitting him for 100,000. But we're each taking the same percentage of life off the boss. They're scaling. One of the cool things about this map, patrol map, there are 3 patrol maps in the game, is that this one does not have bracketing. The other 2 have bracketing, so it's like levels 1 to 10, 11 to 20, and so on. So a lot of times you can't really go in there because you'll be the only person running around. That's not the case in Midtown, and it's definitely not the case in Midtown on Mondays. That's not particularly interesting.
I am mighty!
Oi am moity. That's 30. I believe I said 31, right?
I will fight on!
31 is indeed where we got to. So my guess would be, unless we get the Sentinel wave of boss mobs, 34? 33 or 34 is where we will do our storyline stuff from. Colossal Roar, and we'll put Kitty there. And we'll probably use this to run through the leveling content. We'll do a quick check when we hit 60 as to what kind of build we want. I have one bookmarked. And then we'll open up all those level 60 boxes. All of those level 60 boxes. And see where that leaves us. It will be 47 out of 63 characters at the cap. It is a game that encourages you to look at your stable of characters rather than just one, as you get benefits from having many. But as is common for me, it is difficult for me to choose a main, which you can benefit from, having one character who You go out of your way to get all of the best loots for their specific build. All right, we've got a 4 boss. So I'm going to guess we're going to make 33, probably 33. I am fighting my own clone. Sorry. I am fighting own clone. He too is made of steel. A little ouchy on my hands, must say. Oh, I get to beat up Cyclops. Kind of fun, must admit. Oh, beat up Wolverine. Beat up Scott. What is not to like, you know? Wolverine? Good drinking, buddy. Good fighting, buddy. Poor hygiene, buddy, you know? And Scott, well... Scott. We need to have talk with Scott. Is good leader, tactically, but insists on always being leader. Like, if we go out for pizza, he must order. I do not like the mushrooms. Actually, I don't know if that was realistic. I think most Russians like mushrooms. Lenz, however, he is not liking the mushrooms. Level 32. I want to keep that, although that's a low level one, so probably not great. I believe I said 33 or maybe 34. Well, there's... Well, we're not quite there yet. Yeah, we're almost there. There we are. I said 33 or 34, and that's 33. And a third, give or take. We also have Dynasty of the Rasputins, which is something I will use shortly when I get to the level of it. It is Big Hammer and Sickle. You may be familiar with that iconography. Although you kids today, maybe not. We're now going to do the storyline. The prologue. It's not an amateur log.
Welcome to the raft, Earth's most secure.
Thank you, Maria.
Well, now, here's the sit rep. The raft is under attack.
The sit rep.
We need your help to stop the break-in. You'll need to do 3 things. First, reactivate security. Without it, we're working blind. Second, restore power. Look for a set of generators in the maintenance wing. Finally, lock down cell block Alpha. There are still Hydra agents and loose inmates, so expect resistance.
I need
A jolt. All right, we'll beat this guy up really quickly. And here comes Living Laser. Sorry, there were 2 of them.
I'm not going back to that cell.
Spoiler, he's going back in the cell.
Good work taking down the living laser. No wonder Fury is so highly.
Fury thinks highly of me, guys. I think we're going steady.
That should keep the rest of the cells locked up tight. I just wish you could have gotten here sooner to stop the bleeding.
There you can see I'm running. I'm running. I'm Naruto running.
Oh, look.
It's time to play.
do that, comrade.
It's never over.
I have learned much today.
I have learned much today. I will do a quick check. Let's see. We have the Titanic Slam, Colossal Roar, all 4 of those, and the Osmium Charge. So, additional Titanic Slam and Steel Punch are the only things that need to go in. I have Steel Punch, so that just leaves us swapping out the Stomp for the Titanic Slam. The talents. Let's see if we can figure out which one we're supposed to get. The effects of this talent are tripled when you have no armor. Total damage and critical hit chance. Tripled. That seems really good. I don't have a lot of armor most of the time on this build anyway. While in combat, your maximum armor is increased by 2% of your maximum health. Restore 10% of max armor. It's got to be stronger. Excuse me. Stronger than steel, and it's stronger than steel. Yay! Even though I'm brand new to the build, I already have the entire thing figured out.
I'll take you where you need to.
We're off to Daredevil's neck of the woods.
All I want is for this city to breathe free. Free of corruption.
Enough of that.
It's an honor to meet you.
That is Clark Gregg, portraying Coulson. You may know him from his portrayal of Coulson in the show and the movies.
I will fight on!
I will fight on. Bonk. I ran into fence. Could happen to anyone. Not sure why when he runs he has a little glowy in front of his fist. That's supposed to be like, he's re-entering the atmosphere.
I can't do that, comrade.
Sure you could. You just don't want to. Alright, there we go. And now we beat up Venom. Oh, I am ready. Are you ready for sit the bleep down? You creepy bastard. We'll use that because it gives us some health. Give me levels.
I have learned much today.
I really have not learned that much today. I have learned, however, that if you hit Venom hard enough, you get black gunk all over hand. Kind of gross, really. Really gross. Oh, Muffin. He hurt a little leg. Perhaps next time he will not do evil. And I will not have to run over him and hurt his leg. Alright, it's the Shocker. Obviously a hero from a different time, shall we say? Next, talent. Seismic Stomp, not using that. Vanguard of the X-Wing call-in powers share a cooldown, and their cooldowns are reduced by 15 seconds. When you use a call-in power, though, we don't want to share cooldowns. All that. When your armor reaches maximum, the cooldown for Titanic Slam is reset. That's probably the one. I'm going to guess Meteoric Slam is the one we want. I'm looking at the wrong thing because I'm bad with buttons. It is Meteoric Slam. I am 2 for 2 in understanding things. At first, that one looked good. Ooh, you can do call-ins in 15 seconds. No, it's good only if you're using, like, one call-in. As a buff bot or something. The Blood Rose. And next up, on the We Fight a Famous Villain parade, Octodoctopus.
I think Cocktail might like this place, but it's not for me. I hope no one was eating that.
All right.
Your meddling ends now.
Hope everyone's Monday has gotten off, their work week has gotten off to a non-awful start. I know, it's a pretty low bar, but it's Monday. I was so close.
I am sorry.
Hi, Clea.
I will fight on.
I will fight on. Don't know why I yelled that at Clea. She's on our side. Is this going to be so many of me's?
Just thought I'd mention the fact that you may see a lot of you around here.
It is.
That's a big part of why we're after the tablet. Something seems to be playing
Level
a role in
42.
the fabric of reality.
I'm getting bigger and stronger and mightier. And the Russian accent's not going to get any better, though. I'm sorry about the Russian accent. It's, when I regularly used to work with a few Russians, my bad accent got decent for Russian accents. Now, not so much. Also, it must be saying, my costume, what is word? Fugly? Yes, fugly. My costume, current costume, fugly. Now, I could use some of my splinters to buy G's, to buy nice looking costumes. But at this point, until I get all of the heroes and villains that are playable, I would rather get those. It's simple. Nice costume is nice.
I am mighty.
I am mighty. I would like more costumes, certainly. But we are getting close to finishing out the entire collection of good guys and bad guys. We want all. When the game was shut down, I had all of the playable heroes and villains.
That
All of them at the level cap, and several of them prestiged a couple of levels. Basically, to prestige, you de-level your character down to 1.
I may have steel skin something, but your heart is stronger than mine.
And see, I've got friends. Look at that. And once you have de-leveled, you work your way back up to level 60, and you get a new color so that your name is no longer in white. And the colors go all the way up to cosmic. Each one, I believe, you have to do once, and that gets you to blue and green and so on and so on. But the last one, I think there's a total of 8 different levels of prestige. The last one doesn't require leveling up one more time. I believe it requires leveling up 25 more times. So that is a significant investment of time. I know I don't think I ever got any of mine up to cosmic while it was live. A friend of mine got one of his characters up to cosmic. If you're out there, Chiloth. I was just chatting with him actually just before I started streaming. He got Squirrel Girl to cosmic. I am big, Mr. Pipe. Could happen to anyone.
I am mighty!
Also, news just in. I am mighty. Am mighty, just letting it all hang out. I am brick house, except made of steel. So, steel house, I suppose. All right.
Looks like class is in session. This one took out hot items. Rush and learn. Almost be thorough with this road. I guess I learned my lesson.
You should turn a new leaf over.
We're at 337 splinters. At 400, we can unlock another character of our choice.
I am mighty!
Oi, am mighty. Let's see. 32, 38, 44. Let's see. Faster than you look when you use a cooldown power or store a charge of osmium. Only one that really is on a cooldown is that one. The other ones are all on longer cooldowns, so probably not. 10-ton punches, colossal punch, steel punch. So that is only a damage bonus per maximum armor, not much. That would be a 6% damage bonus on our steel punch, not much. Call-in power provides you with a different buff effect. Since we're using all of them, we would get all of these. Yeah, I don't even have to look. I am certain that's the one. You broke my jaw! Certain voice lines get repeated. Generally speaking, they're not too annoying. Okay, I'm tired, actually, of hearing Electra say that my face is sealed. She doesn't actually say that. She says my fate is sealed. But it sounds like she's saying your face is sealed. I am tired of that one.
I will fight on!
And we just leveled up and I believe got yet another talent point unlocked. Let's see what we got. Osmium Courage Heroic Challenge, which is our... Oh. Thought that was that. No, it's not. We're not using it, so that's probably not it. Whirlwind Force, Steel Cyclone, we're not using that. Call-in powers, will no longer summon the X-Men as combatants after executing their initial attack, but their cooldowns are reduced by 20 seconds. I don't think so, because all we would be doing then is non-stop pushing buttons. Rogue Challenge? No, I honest to God don't know. Don't know which one. Oh, they have none of them selected. Okay. I mean, it shouldn't hurt to select one of them, even if we don't use it. Except that one would hurt. So we'll just leave it blank then. I've only seen like one other hero or villain where the build had a blank line, but in this case, none of the things apply except the one that we don't want to apply. Looking forward to this.
Yeah.
We will simply keep punching him in face until face give up. Face has given up. He is the hood, so we will punch his face until we get to the hood.
I have heard Logan speak of these hand warriors.
Oh, no, fat body, please, not that. Go for the eyes, boo, please. No, not the worst character in the history of gaming. Minsk. Minsk isn't a character. Minsk is a collection of quirks. It's somebody's terrible game. Of Mad Libs. Oh, that was nice. Someone else has been playing through here just recently. So tell me, Minsk? Oh, the person who is playing Minsk? Tell me about your character. He has a pet. Oh, that's good. Pet. Cat? Dog? Bird? Hamster. Oh, hamster. That's... Okay, a hamster. But is that it? Nope, it's not a regular hamster. No, of course it's not. Tell me about the hamster. It's a giant hamster. Uh-huh. Are we done yet? Nope, nope. It's a dwarf giant hamster. Uh-huh. And I sense another one. It's a dwarf giant space hamster. Okay, you can just fuck right off. Would just get up and go to his room whenever you'd play BG. Look, the game is great. That character is an insult to anyone who's ever run a D&D game or the like, or been involved in writing for a computer RPG. I didn't run into him until Neverwinter Online. They brought him into the game after one of the expansions, I don't remember which. And the voice work was fine. I don't blame the person for the voice work when they are representing the character they are hired to represent, even if the character made me stupider simply by existing. Really, it is a Mad Lib of quirks. There's nothing I hate more than a character that is nothing but a collection of quirks. Because that's not a character. That doesn't define a character. That makes them memorable, but not good. This has been my TED Talk, one of many. I wonder how many times Fatbody has heard me go off on one of my ranty TED Talks. Quite a few, I'm going to wager. All I can say is it's a good thing that these are not opinions, these are demonstrable, objective facts. I will fight on. Got a video of you passed out on your keyboard and raiding WoW on TeamSpeak. God help you. Yep, I can believe that. It was a normal thing for people in. I had friends who played EverQuest. I did not. I played EverQuest 2 later, but I've never played EverQuest. I don't think even once. But I had friends who were playing it actively, and it was a regular thing because, like a raid boss type thing would spawn on specific hours or irregularly. There were people who were sleeping on the floor with the speakers for their computer next to their head so they could hear the spawn noise for certain bosses and contact everyone else to come join to attack the boss. So, yeah, I get it. Let's check the last. I didn't check. I want to actually see if I can figure it out. Let's see. Colossal Roar instantly refreshes all powers. I don't have a Colossal Roar. Osmium Will, Colossal Roar. Oh, that's that one? That's that one. Okay, yeah. Instantly refreshes all powers on cooldown while the buff effect is active. Or cooldowns will refresh twice as fast. I'm sure that's it. Gains an additional damage bonus and health regenerated. Now it's got to be the first one. Because the cooldowns. Being able to resummon the cooldown mobs would be a big deal. If used while you have no armor. That's an interesting one. That might be. But I would expect, because I'm not doing most of the damage, my summons are, I'm going to bet it's Thundering Voice. Let's find out. It's Thundering Voice. Yeah, but I've heard those stories from multiple different groups who played about EverQuest, is that was pretty common at the time. You had to wait for spawns that would come irregularly. So people would camp out, they'd chat on, Vent or TeamSpeak, whatever they had, waiting for what was oftentimes a, 3 a.m. spawn for a mob. Certainly, so many of the modern gamers, their response to that little disclosure would be, well, couldn't you just pay real money for that? Boss at Best Buy that met his wife in EverQuest, not that uncommon. I only know one, but I do know of a few affairs and a couple of divorces that occurred for that same sort of reason. Well, one of the advantages about, meeting somebody in a computer game is you can pretty much be assured that you have some interests in common and not just computer games. If it's EverQuest, the odds are you have, fantasy books in common as an interest, for starters, that kind of thing. Left BBY in 2022 and she was still playing. He wasn't.
You found me?
Yeah, the ones I know, they're either still playing or they both have moved on. Most of them have moved on. The ones like most of my married friends from my WoW raiding days no longer play MMOs. They'll still play computer games. They're playing Slay the Spire and Hades and stuff like that. Also, a lot of us played Magic the Gathering and board games. So, lots of shared stuff. BBY the guild that you were in? Oh, Best Buy, right. Oops, wrong. Yeah, we are. Hi. I am made of steel. Have you heard of me? Nacho Ninjas, nice. My WoW guild, we had two guilds, one Horde, one Alliance, unsurprisingly, and they came over from EverQuest. In EverQuest, they were Latalis Orisius, and then we were Benis Latalis Orisius and Malus Latalis Orisius. That's good deadly hedgehogs and bad deadly hedgehogs. They were just the deadly hedgehogs in EverQuest.
Your fate is sealed.
For guild names, goofy, silly guild names in Latin is pretty much always a win. Level 59. More splinters.
Ends this day, monster. I will take you back home, little Travis, where you cannot get into any more trouble.
Back to the Avengers Tower. I came up with the our guild I ended up joining just by happenstance for Latro was called Soldiers of the Third Age. But when we were getting ready to play as a group, play Star Wars: The Old Republic, I was kind of leading the guild at that time, and so I was given the responsibility of coming up with a name. Now, it's easy to come up with a name. It's tough to get to come up with a name that a group of people is not going. That you're not going to have one person who objects to it or more, and that doesn't later on make you feel silly or pretentious. And so we went with the Anchorhead Irregulars. Now, the reason I chose that is in Star Wars Galaxies, Anchorhead was the littlest podunk town on Tatooine. And so I wanted us to be from the littlest podunk town. It turned out in Star Wars: The Old Republic, Anchorhead was actually a big, thriving city and the biggest one on the Rebel side. And we were going to play Rebel. Sorry, Republic. Oops. And the reasons for it, for the Irregulars, was a couple of things. First, Irregulars is obviously a describer of people who are not regular, and that applied to us. Irregulars is also a military term meaning sort of an ad hoc military group, isn't a part of the actual military, but may be doing military or paramilitary activities, so Irregulars. And also a reference to the band of kids that would help out Sherlock Holmes in his mystery-solving adventures, who were called the Baker Street Irregulars. And so that triple reference was why I went with the Anchorhead Irregulars. And everyone liked it. No one objected. It didn't sound pretentious. It was good. The Entitled Guild. One of my most memorable ones that I saw was in like the first week that Guild Wars 2 launched. I saw a guild named We Never Finish Anyth. And in Guild Wars 2, we're the Irregulars as well. We've stuck with the Irregulars title. I may change a city up behind it. But hey, I actually wrote a blog about names of guilds. Let me find it. Let's see. And there it is. Where is it? There it is. I will share it with any who are interested in my opinions about MMO gaming from 2012. Oh, dear me. We don't want that. Why is that showing that? Why? Did I not put it back on freaking game capture? I didn't. Sorry, my apologies for the flashbang. I didn't change it. I have failed you and feel shame. There we are. We should now be back. Right? On the game? Yeah. Sorry. That was my bad. I'm a bad streamer who feels shame for being such a bad streamer. That cover it? I think so. So you might want to read that. You might not want to read that. I blogged for about 4 months, I think. All right, we have hit. No, we have not quite yet hit level. I need to talk to Ben York. That'll get me level 60. Hi, Ben. 60 me, please. Thanks, bro. A colossal milestone. You see what he did there? I hit another achieve, and I forgot to check on that achieve, what that was. So we just hit that one for getting him to 60. Breaking the fourth wall. As me, Deadpool, totally ruined the game for all my lame enemies by using my kitchen sink ultimate power 20 times. So that was what that one was.
I make a far more imposing horseman than Gambit ever did.
We will now go down to the shield training room. We're going to open up all those level 60 boxes. But first... Quiet. I am going to refill my coffee cup. I know what the full face was up for. The full face, I mean, the screen instead of the game capture was up for the game capture. So it's been up for the whole weekend. I feel shame. I'm a bad streamer, guys. I am back with coffee and a whole bunch of boxes to open. All right. This is just some currency for that first one. This one is going to have not very useful stuff, some crafting materials, possibly one of those mutation things that you're seeing. Might be okay for now. We'll use that one as a default until we can hopefully get a better one. Checking. None of those are any good. So now, I forgot to equip that. Well, we'll equip it now. We'll drop the Citarac Circle, even though it's low level. I think you can upgrade those, I think. But I know that makes some builds. Okay, these ones, the Cosmic Reliquaries of Rarity, can give us cosmic genetic mutations. That's mostly what we're hoping to get out of here. Would be some of these that are good. That one gives intelligence. That's not a Colossus thing. Speed, also not a Colossus thing. Let's just pull all of these across. I have lots and lots and lots of boxes. And that was just a couple of boss rounds with in Cosmic Midtown. Lots and lots and lots of boxes. Speed. Nope. I am made of steel. I am not made of fast. Wow, really? Are we not going to get a good one out of all of those? The answer is we are not going to get a good one out of all of those. Wow. Impressive. We didn't even get one that had life on hit, because life on hit is always good for almost every class. That is like, for me to have gotten 4 and gotten them all be that bad is impressive in a not good way. Let's try our Midtown Madness fortune cards. We could get very lucky here and get a random costume. Speed again. We don't need speed, and it doesn't even have any of the secondary abilities that would be good. All right, Metal Militia, I believe that means that we have now gotten all of the unique items for Colossus, but we have not yet gotten them all at level 60. Right, he needs a pet. What kind of pet does he need? I am thinking he is dog person, you know? He like big, enormous dog. Ah. Nothing. And Insignia of Quake. Critical. Area damage. Probably better than the one we currently have, but none of them are good yet. So far, I'm getting pretty kind of crappy stuff out. The Odin's Bounty is mostly for XP and Odin marks.
This will aid our cause.
This will aid our cause. That is disappointing. Ah, we have gotten a unique. The Soul Sword. Bad stats. We have another unique. I don't know which one makes the build, so we will hold on to this. Another bad Reliquary of Rarity. Better than no ring at all. Got you to thinking what you were doing in 2012. Well, you can see what I was doing. I mean, I was playing the beta for Guild Wars 2. I was playing the beta for The Secret World. There were a lot of games coming I was looking forward to. It was a good, interesting time in MMOs. And man, has it become kind of dead ever since. Good evening, Dark Machinist, to you. Oh, Darkest of Machinists. I don't know you're really the darkest machinist, but, you know, I want to suck up a little, so sure. Nothing wrong with a little constructive upsucking. Right now, I am going through the loot I got quite a while ago on my latest character to reach the level cap. I am now 47 out of 63, as I'm keeping track of it. That is a resubscription for Dark Machinist. Thank you very much. As always, you're too kind. 2 months in a row. Oh, look, it is a thing. Fat Body approves. Oh, you like that? That's my one and only emote. Emote? It's my only emote. Suddenly, I'm Canadian. That's the exact same one I already have, but not quite as good. Exactly. What is it all about? That's a fine question. What's it all about, Alfie? It's an old guy musical reference. And I have to say that so far, this has been hilariously unproductive. These boxes have given me exactly one unique. I'm not sure which one we use. I will check. Hold the thought. Hold that thought. It looks like we use the Courage of Colossus. So we will not be using the Bands of Sitarak, but we will keep the better of the two because we may want to change the build-up at some point and have access to it. So I will add a hero tab for Colossus. We will move Colossus down list of heroes towards bottom. He is humble man. He is not interested in fame or fortune. If you have pierogies, he would like those, certainly. We will consume that one. We'll drop this. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Drop that there. Drop that there. And we're going to sell all of those. So we need to find, I think this is cosmic upgrade tokens. Oh, interesting. In there. There we are. We still have, we have 4 more boxes. I'm sure we can get a unique for this, a higher level unique for this, and then unique for that. We can go 4 for 4 and get everything that we're looking for. It can happen. It won't, but it could. Nope. Quite remarkable luck in the bad column there. Okay, well, I guess we're off to now go back to Midtown at the red level. I really thought the odds were pretty good that we would get all of the uniques we needed to get him kitted up with a base. I just hit the level cap kind of gear. Oh dear, that's not good. The event didn't finish here at the red level. That means that we probably, because the Green Goblin Wave only has 3 bosses. So what this means, sadly, is we can't run it on Colossus. Not realistically. So we will go back to the voice of the human male player character, Nolan North. In Guild Wars 2. Sorry, I wasn't specific.
Colson. I'm one of the good guys.
Yeah, sure you are, Coulson. Day of the Sentinels. Have they finished the Sentinels? I'm pretty sure they already finished the Sentinels. This is...
Every time. Hey, I'm good. Even I can do that.
Oh, no. 2 of the Sentinels are destroyed, and I'm sure it's always going to be the one that... only one of the Sentinels actually drops any loot. And that's the one everyone concentrates on first, and, well... So now I will show up to help kill the other 3 that don't drop diddly crap. Yep, I was correct. You know, I enjoyed playing the character of Gambit in this game, but I really freaking hated the voice work. And hearing him talking here, I really still hate that character's voice work. So what we're doing here is we'll be farming up some boxes. We'll be opening them up on Colossus because Colossus needs fat loot. Now you can only get into the cosmic difficulty of this zone on a character that has successfully completed the cosmic trial, which is a fairly difficult for a new character test. And I have, like I said, 47 characters at the level cap, but I've only gotten 4 of them through the Cosmic Trial. It's the Black Cat. I doubt I'll be sorry. Me ouch. It's a Black Cat joke, guys. The rotation is pretty simple on Deadpool. The D skill fires a missile that drops a nice big delicious circle of poison, doing damage over time to mobs. And that can go off, I think, every, like, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Anyway, but I only do that half the time when it comes up. I wait until the F and G are up. The F is a big single target hit. The G is a big rocket AoE damage. And then I hit S to teleport back on target, on top of the target, doing some damage. And I hit A to drop a bunch of caltrops that gives it damage over time. And then I spin to win. Every time I'm doing decent damage, good AoE damage, but decent single target damage. But I'm also healing myself for 400 every time I hit somebody. Which means every one of those numbers that's floating over their head, I'm gaining 400 hit points. And I'm the only one who's freaking here fighting Black Cat. Where the hell is everybody else? Did I manage to get into 2 dead maps in a row? No, at least one other person's just joined me. I can't quite make out which hero it is. Because there's a little bit of visual spam. Yes, you might be able to detect on your own. So it is a very survivable, moderate damage build. Plus, spin to win is just always a win. See, even she thinks it's fine. No shortage of loot comes a dropping out. Come on, pick up that freaking relic. There you go. And the next wave of bosses has showed up. And it is the Brotherhood of Mutants. In other words, Ian McKellen at home with Magneto. Timu, Ian McKellen. Lots of damage numbers. Many damage numbers. Ooh, get out. Yeah, that did hurt. One of the Carnage characters just set off his ultimate attack. You can tell because he yells, "Maximum Carnage!" Get out! At cosmic level, you can die pretty quick. So, especially if there's a bunch of the bosses in one place, all the bosses have the exclamation points over their head, making it really easy to find them. And if you're in the middle of a bunch of them, you can die PDQ. Somebody is playing, well, Groot you can have as a team up on any character. But also you can summon him if you're playing Rocket Raccoon. I think that is probably one of the VO works for the team up. Now, as you can see, we've got a whole buttload of chests and goodies and stuff we're picking up. We're going to pick up all of these, and we're going to get back onto Colossus and open them up on Colossus, because we're still trying to get him basic starter level 60 gear. Because we gave him basically no gear at all while leveling. You'll note, he still had no problem leveling. Let's see, did we miss anything? Yes, we would like the genetic mutation. Somebody's dropping genetic mutations. And they could be good ones for us. On Colossus. He is Russian, you know. Apparently he's in a hurry to get somewhere. Russian. He's Russian to get somewhere.
It's good that you're here.
Thanks, Coulson. It's good that I'm here. Oh, wait. You just said that. Now, we will sell the uniques we picked up for Deadpool because, generally speaking, we have really, really good versions of his uniques already. How did we do? Oh, we've got two. Let's see. Energy? That's really not good for Colossus. Strength? That's probably better than what we've got for Colossus. Let's change to Colossus. There's Colossus right there. And away we go. It's not really one of his better outfits. I mean, sure, he looks beefy and mighty. It's just, you know, costumes, you kind of want them to be cool, not dorky. Let's see. That's a bullseye. That's exactly what we were looking for. What we want is you can have a value of up to 3 and a stat. Ideally, durability and strength are his two most important stats, but you'd rather have durability, generally speaking, as that, in addition to just being a good stat, it also makes him more durable. So, harder to kill. The second thing you want in it is you want, at least in my experience, 418 health when you hit an enemy, as that is a constant healing ability. And then it's cosmic. The signature power does, when he uses that, he does an extra 1,000 damage rating for 4 seconds. And when he's CC'd, he gains maximum health. So if he gets stunned, he gets a big health bonus. So that is, in fact, really good for him, and we don't need to open any more of those specific boxes for him. That one was pretty awesome. I like that. More of that, please. Sauron medallion. We'll sell that. These two. Those were not particularly good, but both were better than we previously had, so we were looking at those, but now we will sell all of those. You're not going to let me move. Pardon my French. It wasn't actually French, by the way. We've got a unique. Kitty's favorite shirt, a unique for Colossus. Yes, please. Thank you. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. We will move these across and then sell them because they are garbage. Garbage. Back to the Odin bounty chests. Mostly what we're going to get out of those is Odin marks. Odin marks, I believe I've spent either 1,200 or 900 of them, and I currently have 1,200. They allow you to buy a legendary to put in the legendary slot. And then you also need them to do enchantments eventually. Basically, you can't beef up your character to maximal beefiness without a shitload of Odin marks. That is a level 60 Dynasty of the Rasputins. That is good. I am liking that. It is tasty. Tastes like victory. That's an infinity point, which is another advancement in the game. We want this. More health, more durability. There are 2 Rasputins in the game, and I think only 2 in the Marvel Universe. I believe this is Pyotr and his sister Ilyena, who is magic. Magic, magic, magic. Ayo. And a police reference, indeed. Well, every little thing she do is magic. Where does that one go? That one goes into slot 1. Well, we have a couple of slot 1 objects, neither one of which is Colossus's unique. All right, is this better than the one we have in that slot right now? No. Every single thing is the same or worse than the one we have in there. That's pretty impressive. Literally, there is nothing on this with like eight rolls where basically for every roll they roll a percentile. And if it's something that's like 2 to 4, that means it's 0, 50, 100. If it's something 1500 to 1600, it's going to be 1501 to 1600. Every single one of these rolls is the same or worse than the other one in 8 D100 rolls. That's impressive. Well, I can show you the actual rolls here. It has the exact same durability, but it always has 1 durability. Everything else, those rolls are astonishingly awful. Okay, the strength roll is the same and it is maximal. Everything else, though, is terrible. He rolled a 12, a 30, a 24, a 10 on his percentile rolls. Is dreadful. I am not wanting that crap. Oh, we got another one of these. Probably not as good. Definitely not as good again. Well, it does have the higher critical damage rating. Can't give up 2 durability for that, though. Where are we? Okay. Shoes. +2 strength. That's not bad. We'll keep that for now on the pet. You can get the bottom stat is 1 to 3 of a stat or +1 to all stats. So ideally we would want 3, but 2 for right now will be fine. And we do have a couple of Midtown Madness cards. The Bands of Sitarak. That's right, that's the one we're holding on to for now. All the way down to Steelhead. No, that one goes there. We sell this. And which of these non-him weapons do we want to use? Energy and intelligence. Does that really sound like Colossus? I don't think so. +1 to all attributes. Sure. He can use that for now until he gets his own. So now we have these left. Well, what we're going to do is, earlier last night, I rolled up Iceman. Got him to 60. We've got his uniques in place. But we still don't have a good genetic mutation for him. It's got 3 durability. We would really like the +400 on heal on hit. So we're going to open these up. Intelligence is no. He's really not intelligent. So that was mostly crafting math. We got a couple of cosmic medallions, neither of which is good or useful, and the insignia of beast, also not useful. We'll go back to Colossus. Da? I speak Russian like native of California. Well, let's see if Midtown Red is live again. Last time I popped in on Colossus, I was the only one there. Next event. Okay, that means the previous event either finished or, well, it finished or the players finished it. There are 2 other players in this map. I don't think I set a team up for him, did I? How about Agent Coulson? Come on down.
It's good that you're here.
Thank you, Phil. It's good to be here. Crafting materials. Oh, look! It's Sentinel I can hit very hard. Sentinel is done blowed up. Oh, look! Is another Sentinel.
I can't do that, comrade.
We have 2 seconds. Boss is coming in now. Ugh. Is worst wave in game. Sentinels. This Sentinel is the only one. There will be 5. The Mega Sentinel drops loot and things. None of the others do. Is horseshit. Because first, we must defeat it, and then we still must defeat others. Or let time run out, which is bullshit mechanic, but...
Hey, up yours, buddy.
That would be Jessica Jones with the Up Yours, Buddy. Actually, this group killed them is killing them pretty at pace, I have to say. But then there's another one over there that we'll need to kill too, so not so great. How about we roar? And now we've got one more kill. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, pardon me, pardon me, excuse me. Please use the report only for legitimate issues, yeah. One of the nice things is they don't put up with bullshit. As a private server, they can nuke people from space, and they will. You stir shit up in chat, boom, you're gone. Are we yellow? We are. We got the new dynasty of the Rasputins. It has worse stats. Is no good. Okay, we got, out of those two boxes, we got 4 uniques. Will we at least get one of them? Yeah, I think that's the Fists of Colossus. So that's better. This one is not quite as good. The Apocalypse Armor, which is BIS for Iceman, but not for Colossus. But we can do is we can check and see what Iceman is wearing and see if it's better than the one he currently has. It's not. So what we're going to do is come over here. We're going to go down to Pyotr Rasputin. Drop all of these off. And when we get a bunch, then we can try and push for the pet to get the bottom value to get up to be +3 strength or durability. But for now, we go back to Midtown. We still need, what? One more unique slot fill, I think. One more. Whatever goes in helmet slot. Presumably fashionable chapeau. I will open Honor of Asgard chest, which is essentially has nothing of value in it that I've ever seen. Why I keep it? Couldn't tell you. Perhaps I'm crazy. Yes, perhaps. Perhaps I believe phrase is cuckoo for coconuts. Oh, marvelous. So, in our first 2, we have gotten the worst boss wave. And now the second worst boss wave. Oh, and already we are beating them up now. He's sad, but must be done. Whoop, is me. If you end up in Bullseye's bullseye, so to speak, 22 Eternity Splinters. That's a significant drop. Every 6 minutes, you do get an Eternity Splinters drop of 9, at least. But occasionally, you'll get multiple drops at once of various sizes. And that right there is 1/20th of a new character, or about 1/8 of a random character if you're a new player and doesn't have, like, 80% of the characters already. Oh, something hurt. Finish off him. Turn our concentration to Bullseye, who's a poopy head. We don't like the one-shotters, and the only 2 mobs left here are both one-shotters. Rhino's charge will one-shot you, and Bullseye will light you up with a targeting reticle, and that will one-shot you. Let me res this guy, because I'm a generous player. Also, so many years in Guild Wars 2, if I can res a character, I'm going to res him. Curse you, flesh bag! It's just one of those things in Guild Wars 2 they added, along with everything being open tapping. It just improves the game, and equally, it improves the player-based behavior. If it is to everyone's advantage to work together for something instead of working in opposition, everyone wins. It just makes a inherently less aggressive environment for the players to play in. Like playing a healer, which really isn't it is definitely a Guild Wars 2 thing now. It didn't used to be, but in any group play, first of all, you'll be welcomed even in the open world. But in any group play, every 5 players, I should say, you're going to have 3 players who are only doing DPS. You're going to have a healer who's doing healing and either quickness or alacrity, and you'll have 1 DPS support who's doing the other of healing and alacrity. But healing is definitely a thing in Guild Wars 2 group play. You really don't stand much of a chance if you don't have 20% of your group being healers, 1 in each group of 5. Didn't used to be a thing, basically with Heart of Thorns when they brought the Ranger elite specialization of Druid in, along with raids, healing became an actual real thing. Before that, you are entirely correct. Is this better than the one I've got? No, it's not. Ain't no better than the one I got. That ain't no better than the one I've got either. Disappointing so far. So far. Son, I am disappointed.
This will aid our cause.
No, it really won't. 2 durability and 2 energy. Probably better than what I'm using. That's a lot of health. I'll stick with a lot of health, I think. We are still looking for a helmet. Unique. Slot 5. Could this be the one? Not the right one, but worth using on him until I can get one. Sure. How about that ring? Speed and strength at 2 of each. If it was 3 of each, I'd hold on to that for another character. Didn't like playing Druid. If I'm not mistaken, every single spec has a healing spec now. So Druid was the first one, the only one that in the beginning anyway was, okay, that is obviously a healing spec. But now pretty much every class has at least 1 healing spec. Whoops, I ran into Hedge. Hedge stopped me. Mind you, concrete walls, they do not stop me. But a hedge stops me. There's no understanding it, you know?
Behold my creations.
I can't do that, comrade.
Violence is regrettable, but effective. I am beating up Mr. Sinister. I'm not liking Mr. Sinister. He made clones. And who wants to send in the clones? Always enjoyed healers and tanks as well, which is kind of funny because they kind of merged into a single role for much of Guild Wars 2. Yeah, that is true. For those who are not aware, generally speaking, tanking is not something you do in most of Guild Wars 2. In a few encounters, it is specific. Either the character who's closest or most far away, or the character with the highest toughness is effectively becomes the tank. And quite often, if not always, it is one of the healers in the group. Which does strike me as strange. But then, as they kind of adapted to not a classic trinity of healing, DPS, and tanking, but with some parallel. How some of the mechanics feel clunky. For instance, the group on tag, which is necessary in every organized group play, whether you're doing, strikes or full-blown raids. Stack on tag is pretty necessary. And it's an ugly looking, feeling, and clumsy mechanic. Boon Hail, Boon DPS, and DPS separate trinity. Exactly. Yep. Is that my hat? I finally have my hat. Victory has been achieved, brothers and sisters. Fighting and fighting, but neither one has the life on hit. I am a big fan of life on hit. Must admit, life on hit. Cannot hate it. Colossus is poet, and his rhymes show it. It's good to be king. All right, well, we got our 5 necessary uniques to finish out the basic kitting up of this character. Let's see, Chest of Odin's Bounty. We'll just open these on this character, see if we can get some slightly better ones. Boon Heal, Boon DPS. Oh, sorry, yes, we already covered that. Sometimes I get a flicker. Oh, that's why I got the flicker. Lady Dragon Master has rated. Why Streamlabs, despite my best efforts to grab it by the throat and throttle it until it actually gives me raid notifications, it doesn't give me raid notifications. It silently flips me off instead. Lady Dragon Master has raided with a group of 18. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm Lens. You are all most welcome here. Now, most of the time, recently, I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2, but tonight, it's a Monday night. I'm playing a game that died 8 years ago. And that's a follow by Space Uko. Uko? Thank you very much. I have a spiel for that. Here it comes. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. And thank you, Dark Morrow Gaming, as in Morrow, Mark Rosewater, as in Morrow, the character from Magic the Gathering. You're welcome too. The same applies. Thank you guys for joining. You love this game? I am pleased. You played it recently. You think your dedicated server account got removed. Depending on when you were playing, about 2.5 months ago, they went live with the 1.0 version of the server software. For those who don't know, the game died 8 years ago, and over the course of about the last 2 years, a guy, I think, has been working on reverse engineering the server. I played the 0.1 or 0.2 version. It's on GitHub. You can run it locally if you want. I am playing on a private public server called mhtahiti.com. MH for Marvel Heroes, Tahiti because it's a magical place. And, if you haven't played it in the last 8 years, none of us did. So it is back and available. If you ever played it and bought anything, paid any money into Steam, you can still download it from Steam. Otherwise, you can download it from the Internet Archive. If you go to mhtahiti.com, they have instructions there on how to get it. You'd also have to create an account there. What the game is, if you're not aware of it, is it plays like an old Diablo game. In fact, the head designer for this game, David Brevik, was the head designer for Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. In this game, you can play 63 different heroes and villains, each of whom has their own powers, talents. There are multiple deep game systems. Played Angela, real fun times. I have not played Angela. She is one of the few that I do not yet have unlocked. I've been playing it a lot in the last 2.5 months. I have 47, as of tonight, characters at the level cap of 60, another 16 to go. It is a game that rewards playing all of the characters, and over time, you will get the free currency. There's no real money involved in this. There was when it was live. There isn't any longer. Basically, a good chunk of the Marvel heroes and villains that you would know are in the game either directly as characters or as team-up, basically sidekick pets, or as characters you can beat up in the game. If you like costumes and heroes, boy. So you get a bunch of the 2 currencies in the game. There's splinters, eternity splinters, which are drops. On average, every 6 minutes, if you're playing the game, you'll get a drop of 9 or more. And you can convert these into G's, which was the real money currency. So that's how you get the real money currency equivalent. And if you like costumes, let's say, now Angela only has 1 because she was brought into the game very late, shortly before the shutdown. But let's say you enjoy Iron Man and you want a cool looking Iron Man costume, right? They have a few. This was originally how they monetized when the game was live. You'd have to buy G's, the real money currency, to get costumes and those kinds of things. You can also unlock heroes that way or over time by getting the Eternity Splinters. But everything that's available, there's no real money involved anymore, but you still do have to earn things. If you play the game about every 6 minutes, you'll get 9 or more splinters. You can convert the splinters into G's. So at worst, it would take about 4 hours playing to unlock any character you wanted, any one character you wanted. But there also, you can spend the splinters and you can get a random hero box for 175. Over time, I have about, I think, 250 hours since it relaunched. I had 1,000 when it closed down. And so I have all of those characters, 47 out of 63, in about 250 hours. You're on alert, get ready for bed. 2:30 comes early. About half an hour after 2, in my experience. So yes. Thank you again for the raid. I did want to try and bring them up to speed here about the game because the game is fun. Let me go ahead and actually go out to right now. It is actually an MMORPG. It plays like an ARPG. Now, I play it pretty much every Monday night because there's a special event going on. And there always was when the game was live. It's called Midtown Madness. There'll be a bunch of other players running around, and right now 6 bosses have spawned. Every one of those exclamation points is one of the bosses. And as you can tell, no visual noise in this game at all. Okay, if you're a Guild Wars 2 player, you might be used to visual noise, so that maybe won't be a problem for you. So we're currently beating up the Lizard, Electro. Nightcrawler's a player. I'm trying to see them. Lizard. We've beaten up most of them. We have Venom here. Venom's here. So there were 6 bosses in this wave. When you defeat a wave, it'll be a couple minutes before another wave spawns. All of those enormous beams of light, those are loot boxes. Which are not like Guild Wars 2 loot boxes where you have to have a key. These ones you can just open. Now, most of what you get is not going to be useful. But like any sort of game with any amount of vertical progression, you're going to want your loots. And this is why everyone plays on Monday nights historically. One of the guys who regularly streams the game, a guy named DGenTP, was a big streamer of it when it was live. And he's commented many times about how players would pop into his stream and talk about how they used to watch him playing this game and how they really miss Midtown Monday Madness. And it is a blast. It's just a bunch of players running around blowing things up. I just accidentally set off my ultimate skill wastefully. That's on a 10-minute cooldown. Oops. That was not intentional, I assure you. This character just reached the level cap earlier this evening. In fact, I started playing him about an hour and 40 minutes ago, maybe a little bit less. There are a lot of deep game systems involved. So getting a character, ready for the end gamiest of end game can take some time. So those who don't know me, I'm Lens. Hi, how you doing? I stream mostly MMOs, but not exclusively. ARPGs, some of those, some RPGs, some single-player games. My most streamed game is Guild Wars 2, about 3 times more than anything else. I have over 1,000 hours streamed in Guild Wars 2 and 5,000 hours played in Guild Wars 2. I have been gaming probably since before you were born. I bought my first computer in like 79. 1579. Actually, it feels like that sometimes. And it was an Apple II Plus, and I bought it to play games. So I have been playing computer games for almost 50 years now. I would be an OG if I was any kind of G at all. Old gamer, that kind of OG, yes. Now I'm getting lots of experience points here going into this bar here, and this bar gives you infinity points, which are one of the end game progression mechanics. There are layers of progression at the end game, like a lot of games at the time. Most of those were real money. It's funny, at the time, a lot of people, most of the players, thought the monetization was pretty egregious for this game. They wouldn't think that anymore. Now that we know what really bad monetization looks like, nobody is going to think that the monetization in this game is bad. Was bad. There's crafting in the game as well.
You can get a lot done when you're not worrying about fighting supervillains.
Where you can re-roll items or try to optimize items, re-roll gear, manufacture some gear, and exchange certain things for certain other things. A lot of deep systems, a lot of MMO-based systems. It plays like an ARPG, like a Diablo-alike, but it really has a lot of MMO in its spine, in its bones. We have the Green Goblin, Rhino, and Bullseye. My Colossus is a summoner build who is summoning 4 of the other X-Men. So you'll note 8 bottoms on the hotbar at the bottom. Sorry, 8 buttons on the hotbar at the bottom. And 4 of those are summoning up members of the X-Men. Sister Ilyana, Kitty Pride, Kurt, and Fastball Special with Logan. And the mechanics for the characters are quite varied. So what function that this game really provides that most games don't is it is a great just time killer. Just a great, I don't want to say mindless, although there is some truth in that. Just a game where you just blast mobs. Because sometimes, you don't want to pay 100% focus and attention on a game. Sometimes you just want to kick the crap out of bad guys. And that's what this is. Although, sometimes you're playing a bad guy, kicking the crap out of other bad guys. It's complicated. There are raids in the game as well. I think just 2 raids with a total of, one of them has, I think, only 1 difficulty level and the other has 2. It was sort of an ongoing thing that they were adding to the game at the time. That they pulled the plug. They pulled the plug right before Thor Ragnarok. Emma Frost. I can show the costumes. It is a better looking game than you would expect from like a 15-year-old kind of ARPG. If you close in, yes, Emma is displaying her assets in a great many of these. True. But for instance, if we zoom in, you can see, the animation. And the art style obviously is cartoony, but the animations are pretty good. For a game where you spend most of your time zoomed that far out, they don't screw around. It was a real game with superb voice work. So for those of you who play Guild Wars 2 and are familiar with the human male voice, Nolan North, you open these up, and I'll bust him out. He voices extremely well Deadpool. Grab all that stuff, file this away. So where Colossus is a summoner, or I built him as a summoner class, you can build him as a tank or as a melee brawler class. But Deadpool is built quite specifically as he'll drop off, throw a couple of ranged attacks, and then go dive in. And because I've done him put him through the Cosmic Trial, which is a test you have to do to open up the difficulties, I'll go with the Cosmic difficulty on him. Four bosses are up.
Violent Canadians and the X-Men, Scott? If not, I'm ready to join the team.
Ranged attacks. And now I'm spinning to win. And I'd like to say I killed those 3, but it wasn't me. I just happened to arrive just in time for them to kill all 4. But you'll also note, this is at the highest difficulty level in the game. And the loot is plentiful. That was 4 bosses, and waves can have up to 6. And you might even pull an extra boss mob or 2 who happen to be in the area. So it's a game that gives you lots of stuff to go through. I'm still trying to get some stuff for the character I got to the level cap last night, Iceman. So I'm going to swap to Iceman and open some stuff up. So these boxes I got, I can open on another character if I want to. That may be exactly what I'm looking for on Iceman. In fact, I think it is. Iceman, switch. Energy. That's durability, but it doesn't have... See, this... His primary abilities are durability and energy. This one has durability, but the rest of the stats are okay. This one has energy, and it has health when you hit an enemy, which I just find really useful for survival. So that is exactly what I was looking for. I would rather have had it in durability, but it's better than the durability without the health. Well, that was worth making the swap. We'll go through the rest of this stuff. No, Sauron Medallion. You can get a look at the actual rolls. Rolls are basically made between, they're like rolling a D100, and you can see the percentages there. The red numbers are 50% or less. The yellow numbers are 50% to 90%. The green ones are 100%. So you see you got a couple of good rolls, one okay roll, and 3 crappy rolls, which means it's not good. Open these. This is an insignia. You have to be part of the appropriate group, in this case, SHIELD, to be able to use this. And these are the group affiliations he has, SHIELD, X-Men, and Defenders. That's going to be dependent on which things he actually was part of in canon. For example, Magneto has fought alongside the X-Men a number of times, so Magneto will be an X-Man. Odin's bounty is mostly what we're interested in, is the Odin marks, which is a currency.
I spy with my little eye something awesome.
Not a big fan of the voice work on this character. I find him annoying. But they can't all be winners, you know. It's like streamers. They're not all as charming, debonair, sophisticated as I am. You know? But you can't hate the player. Hate the game. So I'm going to finish opening up my goodie boxes here. Check and see if we got anything else awesome. The answer to that is no. So we will sacrifice these, feed these to the pet. Oh, let's summon the pet. He has a dog. And lastly is these are the real lock boxes, though. These are the ones you used to be able to buy for real money with a really long chance of getting a random costume. That's about as good as it gets. And that was, in fact, a crafting item out of that. So I think I'm going to call it an evening here. I want to thank all of you for hanging out. Did I call out Speedy? I did not call out Speedy Plays for following. Thank you very much as well. I have the spiel. It's late, but you deserve it. And welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow, and thank all of you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it very, very much. I will be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, with more of my standard Lensco quality streaming product, trademark, bullshit, and probably be back at Guild Wars 2, playing 2, and wild speculation about 3. Probably even some speculation about Guild Wars 4. Why not? It's every bit as well-founded as speculation on 3. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Anything else in the week upcoming? Not that I can think of, although I also, as a friend of mine pointed out, they had a big patch and overhaul in Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I have tried to get into Elder Scrolls Online multiple times, all the way back to the alpha. I got into the alpha tests and did a lot of time in the alpha, but especially in the beta. It's a game I wanted to love. I've played it off and on, tried again and again. I probably have a dozen different times I've installed it, and I've played it for a grand total, I'm going to guess, of like 250 hours. I will not be rating out because, I haven't been doing drops today. If I was doing drops, I would rate out to someone for drops. But I haven't been doing it, so my assumption is anyone who is here for the drops, they may have realized that I wasn't actually playing Guild Wars 2 today. But I expect I'll be back at it tomorrow. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it very much. Hopefully you will see me soon. I hope the rest of your Monday night, or possibly Tuesday morning, goes great. And as always, I like to set an achievable goal for the people who hang out here. I hope the rest of your work week doesn't suck. I'm back tomorrow. Take care, and ciao for now. Bye, guys, and thanks for the follows. Oh, and thank you for the raid, Lady Dragon Master. Bye, guys.